The course view section is assumed to be mainly used by students who might have a specific task in mind. For example, satisfy a breadth requirement or find an easy course. With this in mind, we came up with a design that essentially provides all of the information in terms of the course, the professor who handled the course, the term, and year in which it was offered, the average GPA encoded by color code, I will explain that later, and the class strength and the breadth area each course falls under. As you can see, there is a legend on the left that specifies the color for each area, and the course is colored by the area he belongs to. So for example, if I want to see all of the courses that are offered for fall, I can filter now, and I have only selected the courses for 2010 to 2013, and we lay out all this information as a scatter plot, where every point is indicative of a course being offered in the y-axis, aligned term and year, and offered by x-axis aligned professor. We encoded the class size to be the size of the point. Bigger the class size, bigger the plot point. We also color code the plot point to be representative of the average GPA of a student who took that course. So, for example, this was a big course with 35 students. 17 got A, 17 got B, and 1 got a C. This is why the green color is showing a little lighter than, for example, this one, where a class size of 16 and everybody got an A. To indicate the area in which the course belongs, we color and code the background of the row. If we imagine that entire scatter plot as being multiple rows of individual scatter plots for one course. In order to reduce the clutter, we took the overview first approach to provide the scatter plot initially and then enable a drill down approach in the form of a tooltip. So, for example, if I want to see courses given by a specific professor, for example, Chris North, and the years I'm selecting will be from 2003 to 2014. Okay, we can see that through that period of time in graduate courses he has offered visual analytics and information visualization. We implemented a tooltip display which will show the user a stacked bar graph of the individual breakdown by the number of grades in each of the A, B, C, D category. This information is summed up as the average GPA in the overall view and broken down as this stacked bar graph at the drill down view. Okay? Also, in order to facilitate working with a desired specific and smaller subset, we designed filters that would let user configure parameters to their requirement. Range sliders for selection parameters such as year, area, professors, and course were initially proposed. For example, insight that we could get from these queries that we have made right now, we can see that Chris North is very prone to give A's, as we can see, and that in fall 2010 he had a small class for visual analytics where he gave 1B. In order for a user to analyze the performance of a professor from the CS department at Virginia Tech, we have implemented a string graph. Each layer represents a professor across our time range which is 2004 to 2013. The layer height encodes number of published articles. Each professor is associated with one of the 9 research areas defined by the CS department. The research area a professor has been assigned will color each layer. There are 2 filters available, one by research area and another by professor. The graph will update every time a checkbox from any filter is clicked. There is the possibility to show only professors from a certain area. So for example, if I want to see only human-computer interaction professors, I can click on that and I'll see that there are 6 professors from the science department making research from that area. Also, we're taking into account the experience of a professor by the years he has been present in academia. So the lightness of a color layer will categorize the experience. A lighter shade will represent fewer years of experience and a darker shade more. So, for example, this professor with 14 years of experience will be a little lighter than this other with 18, 20, and so on. Also, if I want to compare one of the professors with this area, I can check, and this professor from the area of computational biology and bioinformatics can be compared with the rest of the human-computer interaction professors. Also, I can show them all or pick only certain professors I want to compare. Also, if a user hovers over a layer, a tooltip with detailed information from the professor's performance during a certain year will appear. Information from a specific year will include the number of articles. In this example for 2005 for Cliff Schaffer is 1. The students he graduated, in this example, is 0. The grant value, names, and institutions. So, for example, in this year he received no grants. But in the next one, we can see that he had 2 for that value and from that institution. We have also included the title. Also, he had 8 articles for 2006 and 0 graduated students. The data that will not change through the year will be the name of the professor, the research area, the years in academia, and the year he has received tenure. For students, many questions can be answered by our visualization. For example, which professors are in my area of interest? So, if I'm interested in data, I can select to show only those professors, and I can see that there are 5 professors in the CS department oriented to research in data. And specifically, I can say that is Naren Ramakrishnan, Aditya Prakash, Ed Fox, Chang-Hyun Liu, and Anil Vijikant. Also, I can answer the question, which professors are more interested in research? If I select all of them, I can see that the professors that are more interested in research are Naren Ramakrishnan, Wu Fen, Ed Fox, Carl Rubens, Adrian Sandhu, and Lane Watson up to this point. Also, our visualization will be very useful for administration. For example, if someone wants to evaluate the performance of a professor in a certain year or in the last year to take measures, this can be easily done.